Hello friends, in the previous series of my illegal adventures in the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, I showed how the first day of the journey went and how we visited the island of the third stage of the construction of nuclear power plant. We looked at the two main objects of the island, the unfinished cooling towers and the unfinished 5 power unit. Then they made a halt to wait for darkness and head towards Pripyat. After a long journey we spent the night in our house near Pripyat and in the morning set off towards Pripyat. Before reaching the city we found a house where there was a S.T.A.L.K.E.R lair. Then we went to the Jupiter plant, which amazed us with its scale. We managed to find boot covers and we are ready to descend into the secret flooded laboratory. After examining the flooded laboratory, we visited the plant director's office and headed into the depths of Pripyat. Look, the stalkers run from the factory. The stalkers were afraid of us. They could at least come over and say hello. On the other hand, what do we care about them? We have our own tasks. We are going to look for kindergarten in this micro-district. Bureau says we don't know what's on their mind either, so maybe it's for the best. Geiger says that if we run after them, we would most likely be mistaken for the police. The police in the exclusion zone often walk around not in uniform, but simply in camouflage, and the beaver just look like a policeman. We went for a short smoke break in one of the apartments of Pripyat. We didn't get to the kindergarten a bit, we decided to go to the Lazurny pool first. This is one of the popular tourist spots. Here you can run into both the tour and the police. Nevertheless, we have not been here, so I want to look at this place. The bureau went a little ahead to check if there was an excursion. Yes, it's very easy to spot us here. We looked at the pool. Degree of destruction is certainly very strong. Now we are going to watch kindergarten number 6 or number 7, I don't remember exactly. I remember how during the first passage of the game Stalker Call of Pripyat I went into this kindergarten and I felt uncomfortable. If you also played, be sure to write in the comments and give a like.
Ставьте лайк, пишите комментарий.
All kindergartens in Pripyat were built according to the same plan. Outwardly, they practically do not differ from each other. When I was little, I had the same lockers in kindergarten with different animals. Each on the locker had its own animal or fruit or picture, so that it would be easier for the child to remember where whose locker is. Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. I lived through the textbook on the geography of the USSR. Wow.
Вот.
So this is the same room. Stalker, be a man, not a vandal. Respect the work of another stalker. Take care of the room, the inscription in the note. The restoration of this room was carried out by several ideological stalkers for their own money. This is what the room looked like before the accident. So that you understand what scam people can be, just a few days after we visited this room, a group of unknown people painted the walls. How do you think vandals should be dealt with? It is not possible to catch them at the scene of the attack by the police. This is the basement of the same building. It was kindergarten number 8. The guys offered to visit another one. Perhaps there we will find something else of interest. This is a rose heap and is usually much smaller. It could have been made in tortilla, but we didn't dare. The wind alarms us every minute. The windows in the houses knock, a lot of different sound, and it is not always clear whether it is a wind or a person. We did not manage to reach the second kindergarten. While checking the map, we saw two people who were walking without backpacks in our direction and decided to run away, as it could be the police. We headed towards our house and remembered that along the way we saw some kind of factory and decided to look into it in case there would be something interesting there. I was a lie. I deceived my subscribers on my main channel, and now I will explain why. While we were standing and checking the map, two policemen approached us from behind. There was no point in running away. We offered to negotiate on the spot, but at first they refused. We headed towards our house and started talking to them along the way. As a result, halfway through we managed to persuade them to let us go for a small bribe. For 5 we give about $14. Why I decided not to talk about it in the original video? The police in the exclusion zone do not always take bribes, and if I posted a video with them or simply said that we paid off, their leadership could understand who exactly took the bribe and punish them. This would have long-term consequences. The police would have less confidence in stalkers and less likely to let them go for a bribe. Therefore, we decided to hide this fact so as not to turn the police against stalkers. After all, any stalker will be very disappointed if, having traveled such a long distance, he gets caught by the police and his campaign will end there. And here the fragments that I have never shown on the Russian language channel. In the first fragment, the moment when the police approached us, and in the second we sit and discuss this situation. The policeman says, let's go to the place where your backpacks are hidden. The bureau answers him that they are far away. Never mind, we'll get there by car, the policeman said. Bureau says we can get there by car. At this moment, Coop takes the flu and offers not to go anywhere and resolve the issue on the spot. To which the policeman replied, let's go to your house and then we'll see. And he told me to run off the camera. At the beginning I wanted to say this in video, but Eagle asked not to tell that we have such good policemen who agreed to let us go for $40. I agreed saying that we would leave this fragment as a keepsake. Gagarin offered to say in the video that the police were chasing us, but we ran away. I am tormented by doubts, or maybe I should have given up and would not have had to go back 50 kilometers, says Eagle. It's good that we didn't get to our house, otherwise the police would have known about this place and it would no longer be safe. How many locations in the zone that did not get into the game? I hope there will be more in the second part. The countries of the former USSR love this game very much and are waiting for the second part. It looks like an administration building. Where was the management? Here is the signal. Now let's see what it says. Mobile mechanized column. It is not entirely clear what this means. Plan is law, commitment is honor. The guy says that the building is empty and there is nothing interesting here. Rice with dried tomatoes, dried onions, sweet peppers and stewed pork. Such a dish will be tasty at home, but in the zone it is especially tasty. We sat, ate, thought about a further plan and decided that tomorrow we would meet the dawn in Pripyat and then we would start on the way back. We have not yet decided to leave the zone in 1 day or 2 days. There are heated discussions. We decided not to stay in Pripyat for a full second day, since there is nothing special to see there. We have already seen the most popular places. You can't go to the Ferris wheel, there are cameras there. And after the cooling towers and the 5 power unit, Pripyat seems to be a less interesting place. Therefore, tomorrow at dawn we celebrate a successful trip and move to the exit. We have just been very frightened. An elk came out 30 meters behind us and looked at us for a long time, after which it went on. Given that we recently heard the story of how the forester was hit by an elk, beating him is not the most pleasant moment. And yesterday, when the guys were walking to water, another elk crossed the road right in front of them. Moose are in mating season right now, which is why they are so aggressive. Wildlife has its own laws. On the way to the river, we decided to look into one of the abandoned houses. Apparently the stalkers didn't spend the night here. The life as stalker in Pripyat is not easy. You have to walk 40 minutes one way to the river to get water.